Hi guys, this is an instructional video on how to fit the Puig tail tidy to your Yamaha MT-10. It's surprisingly easy to do, just take note of everything mentioned in this instructional video and you'll have no issues fitting it. It's highly suggested that you pre-assemble the Puig tail tidy, which means attaching the reflector and attaching the number plate light as well. Now if you are using the Puig provided number plate light, you will need an adapter so this fits the wiring that is already in the MT-10. Any relevant adapters or product codes will be popping up on the screen as and when you may need them. Remove the pre-assembled bolts that are on the bottom of the tail tidy, which means you can slide the second piece of the tail tidy into place. I suggest keeping this a little bit loose so you can adjust it to your liking later on when it's fitted to the bike. If you're using the original indicators that came with your MT-10, you will also need indicator supports, which are also available as you can see on screen right now. That is the relevant product code. You may not need these indicator supports if you're using aftermarket indicators. So over to your MT-10. Remove the seat and remove the seat cowl if you have one. Remove this black plastic piece here with these two screws. It will just simply unclip. Be careful, you don't want to break any clips. Remove these two screws here at the back of the rear sort of side panels. You're not going to remove the side panels. This is just so you can sort of bend them to the side to access the next set of screws, which are these four screws here, which you'll need to remove from this metal bracket, which is covering the wiring. This is where you can remove the four nuts which are attaching the tail tidy to the bike below. This will loosen up the entire tail tidy. You may need to move this little white connector out of the way to access one of the nuts. Once those four are removed, you can undo the three connectors, one in white, one in black, and the little one here, which is for the number plate light. This will mean that the standard tail tidy is now completely removable. Disassemble the tail tidy as we need to get to and remove the standard indicators. Remove the small plastic backing plate from the indicators so that the rubber part can be pushed through to release the indicator. Note that the indicator with the white connector is for the right hand side and the indicator with the black connector is for the left hand side. Now to attach the standard indicators and slot the rubber into the Puig tail tidy, you'll need the supports as mentioned earlier. These replace these standard indicator mounts that come included with the Puig tail tidy, so swap them over with the adapters. You'll notice that the standard indicators have a little bit of play when they are mounted in the support. This is where this little part is needed. These are also included in the indicator support kit that I showed earlier. They are placed over the rubber to fill the gap, making it a much more secure fit. Slide the black plastic cover back over, slot it into place, and this will put your indicators securely into place. You can now feed all the wiring nice and neatly into the slot provided here. There is a rubber grommet provided to fill in the hole. However, this will only be usable if you're not using standard indicators, as the standard indicator wiring is too big to fit through the grommet. In this case, I am not using the grommet. You can then fit the tail tidy to the bike by feeding the wiring up through the bike and attaching the tail tidy into place using the nuts and bolts provided with the Puig kit. You can then connect the indicator wiring back up, and as mentioned earlier, the number plate lighting connector is different with the Puig tail tidy, so that previous adapter shown is needed. Bolt caps are provided to tidy up the bolts at the bottom connecting the tail tidy to the under tray. You can adjust the tilt to your liking and then tighten the bolts to secure it into position. The little slit holes can be used with the cable ties, which are also provided to secure the wiring neatly into place. Depending on the size of your number plate, the reflector may need to be adjusted up or down with the screw on the back to allow it to sit into place nicely. Alternatively, you can remove the reflector entirely. However, reflectors are a legal requirement, so if you do remove it, you're a naughty boy. After this, the bike can be put straight back together, starting with the four screws attaching the black bracket which covers the wiring, then the two screws at the back of the side panels, and finally with the two screws holding the back plastic cover on. Make sure everything is nice and tight and secure, and you have successfully fit the Puig tail tidy to your motorbike. This is available to buy on our website if you want to buy one. Any questions or any problems, pop them down in the comments and we will try our best to help.